Hello Leo, Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus signs. Welcome to your reading here at the Intuitive Teacup. Please come into this tarot reading with an open heart and an open mind. Only take away what resonates for you and release the rest. Please do trust your own intuition above all else because you are accountable and responsible for all your own actions and decisions. We're going to go ahead and set the intention to get my Leo gang out there some clear, helpful, insightful messages for wherever they are at on their spiritual journey. All right, what's up, Leo? One more good shuffle and we'll hop in. I hope these messages find you guys well. We just had that Leo full moon. That Leo full moon, though. We're coming off that high, that wave. Yeah, revolution. Interesting that you have an eclipse card. Pisces, that's sweet. All right. Yeah, there's some sort of spiritual trip or spiritual journey that you are about to undertake. It might be literal travel, going to some sort of place. I'm hearing the word Mecca or Nirvana, or feeling very connected to some land trip, ancestry, your roots, your lineage. You may be exploring, I don't know, different cities, and you almost just feel like an energetic connection and tie to them. And it might be because you had bloodlines there at one point in your life, or many moons ago, as they say. Interesting. All right, so 10th house is bottom of the deck, so there's a lot coming through about this. This is like the third time I've given you guys this message, but I mean, that says to me there's something to it. Your social status and identity in the world, how you identify in the world, in your life, in the next chapter, it's undergoing a major change and transformation. So just out of my own curiosity, let me kind of figure that out. For my Leo risings, your 7th would be what? Aquarius. So that means your 10th would, in theory, for some of you, not all of you, would be Taurus. Is that right? Yeah. And then, okay. Yeah. So what's going on in Taurus? Oh, okay. That's Uranus. All right. So major shakeups. Major revolutions, rebellions, like waking up to your own life, to the life you want to create. All right, that makes sense. So with that, there's probably turbulence, and I don't mean that in a negative or a positive way. It's just Uranus shakes things up. That's what it does. It's the maverick. It's the unforeseen. It's what is different. It's what is unique. It's what's rebellious. So yeah, you definitely have a lot of shakeup in sort of how you present yourself in the world, and again, something to do with legacy and roots and ancestry. There's also something here about incorporating your past into your future or carrying the torch for someone else. I'm seeing like a passing of the baton in like a relay race, like you take it from here. There's something very cute and sentimental and beautiful about that, but there's also a kind of like a heavy underlying energy of fighting a battle that someone was no longer able to fight, or again, honoring their legacy through your own life and your own actions in the world. Very, very interesting. All right, and you literally have the card of revolution, so that's cool. And again, the 4 and the 4 make 8. That makes me think of strength. That makes me think of you, Leo. I don't know, symbolically, it's like coming out of a black hole, coming out of the dark night of the soul, feeling like maybe you were just so in it that you lost sight of your path or how to move forward in something. But the light in the tunnel is starting to peek through. I think you're starting to see this, I'm hearing the word game changer. Seeing things in a new light, and also understanding that sometimes blocks and delays and obstacles are actually very necessary. It's in some ways, it's like the universe was actually helping you out. You just didn't view it like that at the time. I think there is an understanding that sometimes you have to release what you thought something was going to be versus what it actually is. Some of you are you have so many cards that are saying to me, realigning your life purpose, realigning your destiny, your standing in the world, the legacy you want to leave behind, what you want to be remembered for. It's changing and it's shifting. And with that Leo energy being a fixed sign, for some of you had a hard time accepting that or releasing, again, this expectation of outcome versus being rooted in the present and in reality, being present and understanding what the situation actually is and not looking that as a negative or as a prison sentence or as anything. It's just like, oh, I see. I was focused on the wrong thing. This almost has a 5 of Cups energy where it's like you're looking at what has been lost in a situation that in some ways you were dedicating yourself to and devoting yourself to, but really with the 5 of Cups, Two cups remain. Two cups are still standing. It's full of opportunity and connection. It's just that shift of perspective. Yeah, a lot of you, you're in the thick of your journey and things are starting to unravel and change. And for a lot of you who are high vibing right now, you're starting to understand what felt like a loss or a rejection or the universe saying no. It was actually a blessing in disguise. And I heard this recently on someone else's channel, and it just made so much sense to me. Really, the universe never says no, right? That's not really what God, source, spirit, whatever you believe in. It's never a no. It's either a not right now, there's something better, so wait, or yes. Like the universe typically isn't like a no energy. That being said, I think you are starting to have some conclusion about an area in your life of particular importance that you are willing to release. And it's like, let go and let God, that phrase, it's like kind of leaning into your faith and I'm hearing unshakable faith and belief that things are going to pan out great, possibly even better than you expected. But yeah, you're getting flashes of insight and wisdom and psychic downloads that you're starting to be like, oh, really? Oh, okay. Like it is kind of like this, oh, so things are even better than I thought? Okay, cool. Like, yeah, let's go pursue that. So there's a releasing. There is something really cool there. There's something about a black heart. I don't know what that is. It almost feels like a piece of jewelry or I don't know, like a sticker or a totem, or I'm not even sure what that is. I'm just hearing black heart. That makes me think of Joan Jett and the Black Hearts. Maybe there's something symbolic about her music or a song you hear. It's a confirmation. Okay. I could kind of see that actually. It's like Uranian energy. It's like, I don't give a, what is that? I don't give a damn about my bad reputation. Yeah, it's something very bold and stepping into this confidence and this powerful position. It's funny. A few of the Leos I know, and again, I'm not trying to make this a personal to me at all, but a lot of them are stepping up and doing like hardcore kind of like rebellion stuff, like, picketing, protesting, fighting for the underdog. Like a couple of my Leo friends are in that energy, and I'm like, that's badass. That's amazing. And it does take a certain amount of courage to do that, especially if that's not your comfort zone. So yeah, just putting it out there. It's like, I don't care what you think of me. I'm showing up as myself. This is my authentic self-expression, and like changes are coming. And I'm hearing the times they are a changing. I'm getting all these music downloads. Well, Bob Dylan. All right, here we go. Right in the center of your spread, you have Pisces. I believe. Yeah, this is about believing in your dreams. This is about believing in your destiny. This is about believing in you. This is about the realization of your dreams and taking the steps to move towards them and to be in the flow of the universe with sort of a flexibility and an open-mindedness that I'm hearing the word like treasure map, like, X marks the spot. So this is where I'm going. But I think it's okay for you to allow yourself to be sidetracked or sidelined if it feels like the universe is saying, yes on the buried treasure, but also come this way first, because there's something cool you need to see over here. It's like sort of embarking on this big adventure or this big journey. And, this is cliche, but it's true. Like, it's not about the destination. It's about sort of like the experiences and the moments and the people along the way. I'm definitely getting like Alice in Wonderland vibes, like down the rabbit hole. That's like a really good kind of symbolic of you're being introduced to this whole world that either you didn't know existed, or you're just sort of starting to discover just how lush and deep and beautiful. I'm hearing the word depth. There's a lot more to be discovered here for you, especially with ninth house and faith. Yes, it does have to do with religion and faith and spirituality, but it also has to do with mentors and teachers. And I will say, I'm not sure how this fits into it, but I'm feeling called to say the word like legalities, legal stuff, possibly with collaboration and partnerships. Yeah, okay. I think some of you are getting into a long-term collaboration that it feels divinely guided. For a lot of you, it's business related, though. Something with a Gemini or a Sagittarius, possibly. It feels like this person helps you acquire something that you've been wanting to obtain for a while, and it's like they step in with this magic solution and it materializes relatively fast. It's like being at the right place at the right time, being introduced to the right person. So I'm hearing like, keep your head up, when you're in the grocery store and you overhear that conversation and like, whatever, I need fill in the blank. And that's what you do for a living. That's your sign to intervene and be like, oh my gosh, well, let me give you my card because I do this. It's like, yeah, it's like keeping your nose to the grindstone. It's an interesting expression because in this, it's saying to me, you're missing the signs, especially in Aquarius season. nose to the grindstone, head down on the pavement, right? It's like you're missing the opportunities to connect with the community, with the larger group, to have your impact be felt I literally just heard overseas. That's interesting. So maybe online for some of you, a greater online presence. But yeah, having your impact be seen and felt and heard in the community. Again, like take the mic, hold the mic closer to you, speak louder, because people are interested. People want to hear. So what's interesting, Leo, is in your what you need to release. Again, nothing bad per se, but something that, it's not useful to you anymore. This isn't going to be for everyone, but again, there's going to be this instantaneous recognition that it's your message. If it is something that you had set out to achieve and you had held in very high regard of like, this is what I'm meant to do, this is my whatever. Was it really though? Or was that the influence of someone else telling you who you need to be or who you should be or how you need to show up in society? There's like an awakening and a recognition that you know your soul's calling and you know your soul's purpose. And I think at one point in time, especially if you are cuspy with Cancerian energy, you were very influenced by those around you and feeling this need to carry on the family legacy, carry the torch for the family. And to a certain extent, you're doing that, but you're doing it in a different way. And you are able to let go of a narrative that has been imposed on you. And there was almost an assumption. Metaphorically, it's like taking on the family business. And you're just going to have this awakening of like, I don't want anything to do with that. That's not who I am. That's not what I believe in. Like, especially with ninth house stuff, it's like, I morally am against this, or it doesn't adhere to my ethical code and how I want to move out in the world. Or if you are taking over something, you're completely revamping it, revising it. It's going through that Leo fire process to get it down to its, what is a good word for it? It's like sterilizing it, or how you put something in fire, it kills away all the things and you're just left with what's, the good stuff. Not sterilization, but there's a better word for that. It's like on the tip of my tongue. But anyway, you're taking what is of use to you. That's very Capricorn, Virgo energy, right? Earthy stuff. And leaving the rest and not feeling guilty about it. Some of you are stepping up and having a conversation about a parent where something is being sacrificed, or no, hang with me. It does have a lot to do with belief and faith, but it's also what you believe in versus them. And there's a duality to that message, because for some of you, you're at a crossroads of, I can't be with these people anymore or adhere to their rules because I'm in a different place now. So like this code of running things, these rules, these regulations, these laws, it doesn't apply to me, like it doesn't work for me anymore. So again, there could be a message of like picketing, protesting, having legal conversations, negotiations, and contracts to try and get things to where they need to be. It has to do with ascension and raising the vibration and coming into 2024 more awake, more awakened to where everybody is at, where humanity is at. Others of you, again, there's like, I can't adhere to this anymore because it doesn't apply to me. So I'm going to go off and create something that does. I'm going to build the infrastructure and I'm going to find my people that way because it's my calling to love and support people who are experiencing what I'm experiencing. It's like, I know I'm not alone. Maybe those people haven't shown up in my life yet, but there's an unshakable belief and this feeling that you're going to find your tribe if you haven't already. Some of you, I'm hearing the word like landmarks or goalposts. Some of you have already started to achieve something down this path or accomplish something where you're starting to find your people. They're coming in. There's an influx. There's a flow. That could be more money, more clients, something like that. And it's greater confirmation to you to keep going down that path. But ultimately releasing what it is you thought you needed to be versus who you are and what you want. There's a redirection of, it's like you're finding your north again. Your compass has been disoriented because again, it's been highly susceptible. I'm hearing the word mountains. Like it's been highly susceptible to the mountains or to the chemicals, not ingredients, grain, the sand, something about nature. It's like it's throwing off your compass. It has to do with your surroundings and your environment and the influence of people who, it's not that they're bad. It's just they're looking out for themselves and they want you. They're being either protective of you and want what's best for you, but they're so in themselves and in their own way and in their own archaic ways of looking at things that they think what's best for you is what's best for them, and it's not. Your path is very different. This is such a Leo energy, right? A lot of you, you're dealing with a Pisces right now who's offering you great support and advice and guidance. They're a great support system for you. It feels like best friend energy, to be honest. It could be romantic. This person is also going through health challenges, and by default, it's making you realize how precious life is. You're watching their own struggle with either illness or depression or something like that. And in some ways, it's inspiring you, and it's also making you understand that certain things are not, I'm not sure this is going to go down right, but certain things are not your responsibility to fix. For some relationships, feeding that relationship means just being present, being a good listener and holding space. It's not that you have to come up with the solution to fix anything. Your presence there, your heat, your warmth as a fire sign, that's enough. It's more than enough. Some of you needed to hear that. So then in what you need to embrace, you have the moon, the soul. You need to honor your intuitions. And I don't get me wrong, there is a contradictory message of breaking away from family expectation, but there's also very much a message here of carrying the torch for your ancestors, bringing their legacy to the front line, bringing their legacy there. Yeah, something about bringing the bloodline to the light. I'm not exactly sure what that is, but there may be a deep delve or discovery into your lineage, your history, your roots, something very associated with a certain land or body of water or country or city, or I don't know, guys. I'm not sure what that is, especially something to do with a grandmother spirit. And maybe even the color green. I don't know if that's heart chakra stuff or like a pin, like an emblem or a pin, something that's green. It could even have to do with a flag of your, again, ancestry, country, however you want to say it. Anyway. And then Grand Cross, Provoker. Yes, so there is something about your energy that is meant to agitate people around you, but in a way to get them to raise their own vibration. And I don't know how else to say this, but it's like your agitation, that irritant or that fact. I'm literally seeing like itching and scratching. Metaphorically, though, it's like you're trying to be the catalyst to get important changes and movements to be made. So I think you need to understand, as long as you're coming at it from a good place, it's not that you have to edit yourself. I think you need to say what's on your mind and do the thing, so to say. There is going to be a strong reaction to what you're doing because it is so different and it is so ahead of its time and innovative that it's not always going to go down smooth. It's not always going to be easily digested. Do have faith that the right people are going to come to your aid and support you, and the haters, the negativity, the whatever, they are going to come around, but those people don't realize that you're a catalyst in their own spiritual journey. And so the uncomfortable feelings they're feeling, yes, you're the catalyst, you're the initiator of it, but it also, again, it has everything to do with them and nothing to do with you, because you're shining a light and being like, here, look at yourself. This is kind of a cool message, Leo. I'm into it. There could be building something. There could be agitation with a Cancer or building something with a Cancer. If it's not that, it could have something to do with a mother or a grandmother figure, or women in general. Women in the collective groups of women with the moon energy. What's in fashion and what is not, that is changing. You're changing what is accepted as societal norms. I'm hearing the word old-fashioned too, and again, there's multiple meanings there. It's like reviving something old-fashioned and making it cool again, but there's also the message of like, you're so outdated, you're so old-fashioned. Like, I'm literally hearing like, you can't say that anymore. That has to do with like your parents or an older generation, and I'm by no means an ageist, guys. I just want to be clear about that, but like, yeah, there's something about trying to bring people into this reality and being like, look at this, we need to fix it. You're rallying the troops, Leo. All right, other messages for Leo. Let's reconnect our energy with either a different group or a different message, totally different message for those who need or want to hear something else. The museum has come out a lot today. Heartbreak Place. It's almost like you're experimenting with yourself and your image. For some of you, quite literally, the idea of makeup or makeover, and I don't necessarily mean that in a superficial, like, let me get my eyeshadow way. I said something similar to another sign. I think it was Libra, actually. There's like a stripping down. There's like, I don't need to present myself this way anymore because it's not really genuine to who I am. There is bittersweet energy about saying goodbye to an old chapter, and with that it kind of feels like you may be having to say goodbye to an old friend or a family member. It's not necessarily because you didn't love them or that there isn't still love there. It's just a natural turning of the tide. It's a progression, and some of you are in a spiritual place right now where you're just not in alignment with the same group of people that you used to be. And so it's not necessarily goodbye forever, but it's like what is necessary or needed right now might be a little bit of space, and also to give people some space to heal and process and digest what's going on. Something about gut or health issues. As I said, process and digest. Some of you, it's literally like internally, like stomach issues, or changing up your diet, or something that used to not bother you is now causing inflammation, and so you need to be more cognizant and aware of that. And honestly, it's sort of like the greater message here is like, what are you consuming, Leo? Like when you're literally eating dinner, are you in front of a screen watching YouTube, or are you, and some of you are literally, I like caught you like deer in headlights, you're taking a bite of your macaroni like, oh. There's nothing wrong with that per se, but also no, like there kind of is though. I think what we are consuming, who we are around, who we surround ourselves with, what we're putting into our body, your body is your temple, but also in terms of media. Sometimes you might be over consuming like the political stuff, and it's inciting emotions and feelings and thoughts in you where it's good to do something with them and get that out and use that as a force to, again, motivate, empower, inspire, and cause change. But some of you, it's doing the opposite. It's like ruminating, or I'm hearing like marinating, like it's sitting in you and there's no healthy release. So it's like consuming negativity, and then that Scorpio energy of like holding on to it and not being able to let it go. It's actually doing more damage than good. So just be cognizant of what you're quote unquote digesting or absorbing, especially in terms of media, television, radio, music, that sort of thing. Some of you got to go to your happy place. That makes me think of Happy Gilmore. You need to get back in touch with your inner child, because there is sort of this, like very intense, for all my Leos, males, females, or whatever you identify with, there's an intense masculine energy about you right now that's very like gung-ho, pioneer, out on the battlefield. But with that, it's freaking your inner child out. So I'm not saying you need to neglect one or the other, but you need to do both. You need to parent your own inner child. Some of you literally need to show up more for your own children, to make sure that their needs are being met too, if that makes sense. Yeah, this is revolution time, baby. Revolution time. I'm hearing like industrial revolution. That takes me back to what, like 10th grade? We like some poem book. Is it Langston Hughes? I could be completely wrong, but I'm wanting to relay that. So there's something there, like poetry, like Langston Hughes. That's a name that I didn't really know that I knew. So yeah, you guys are gonna have to look that up, because I don't know what else to say about that, but it'll resonate for a few of you. Yeah, this is actually, I'm getting like old-timey, like World War II vibes. I'm getting like, what is Betty? What is her name? Or like Revolution Betty. I'm so embarrassed that I can't come up with this, because I can see it. It's that poster of like, women in the workforce and women on the, quote unquote battlefield. It's like, we can do it. And her arm is like in that kind of like, flexing her muscle. Do you guys, Rosie the Riveter, is that it? Okay, something about that. It's like, you may have a tattoo of that. You may have a poster of that. You may be tapping into that like masculine, feminine energy. Like, do you know what I mean? Like showing up for yourself in a different way, showing up for people in your life, really has to do with fighting for what you believe in and not being casted or put in a box, breaking away from a stereotype, showing people who you truly are. Some of you literally got a tattoo and your parents are freaking out, or someone in your family is like, how could you do that? Like, because for some of you, it may go against your religion or some sort of belief your family had about tattoos and this and that. And you're like, this is who I am, and it doesn't make me a bad person. I'm sorry you're uncomfortable with it, but maybe you need to look into that. Like, it's very like, it's deflective, but in a really good way, where you're not letting other people tell you how to live your life anymore. It's like out of the kitchen and into the battlefield, or something like that. Some of you need to be more critical of your diet. You're consuming or eating something that your body is, it's giving you all the signs. Like, I don't like it when you put that in me. Please stop eating that. Please stop drinking that. It may have to do with alcohol. It may have to do, and I'm not trying to be up on my high horse, guys, at all. Like, I'm very open-minded, but you may be doing like too much weed, or like too much of something that it's more numbing you than helping you. Like, because some of you, yeah, it's like a reliance to like chill out, or taking too much melatonin before bed, and your body's like, please stop. Like, like your body is literally communicating with you, and you keep either denying it, or again, like, I'm trying to be sensitive. There may be like an addiction issue there, and like there's a wake up call though to treat your body better. For some of you, it's literally coffee. It's like too much caffeine. It's keeping you awake at night. You're not getting your proper sleep. You're in a more like nervous, chaotic energy. So yeah, for some of you, it's like you need to let go of coffee or do it differently. You may need to look for more healthy, organic alternatives, something with your body, especially if you're cuspy with Virgo. Some of you, your progressed sun may be in Virgo or something like that. I don't know. It feels very like health body related for some of you. The winding path. Yeah, expect the unexpected, unusual twists and turns of events. Blessings in disguise. So if you feel like you're being pulled in another direction, even though for some of you, it's like, I've put all my eggs in this basket though. Like I'm supposed to go in this direction. I would really encourage you to be more open-minded and not put all your eggs in one basket. There's a need to kind of go with the flow, wherever you feel you're being pushed or pulled by the universe, not by other people. But there's signs along this path for you. But I think your ultimate goal and destination is going to shift. There's going to be, okay, thank you. There's like a shifting goalpost, and it's going to be fun. So don't worry that you've invested all this time doing X, Y, and Z, and now it's completely irrelevant. It's not. Pieces and parts of that are going to be taken with you. Pieces and parts of that are going to be revisited later. But yet you have to be a channel for the divine, and know that they are guiding you and protecting you along this path. But yeah, things are going to take an unexpected turn. There's some reference to the Wizard of Oz, like follow the yellow brick road, follow your heart. I'm wanting to mention like the whole, like, this is not for nothing. There's some message here for you about, the Tin Man needed a heart, and the lion needed courage. Ooh, there we go. The lion, that's you. And what is it? The scarecrow needed a brain, and Dorothy just wanted to go home. All of that is incredibly symbolic for some of you right now. Yeah, make sure you're not running. Again, this has to do with diet and intake and consumption. Putting yourself through hell unnecessarily. Sometimes the winding path for you, it's causing delays because you're meant to rest. Some of you are taking it as a sign of, oh, well, now that I don't have that responsibility anymore, I got to fill my time with this. I have more time for the gym. I have more time for this. I have more time for that. And the universe is like, no. Like, I removed that from your plate, from your energy. I took that thing out of your life so that you could actually focus on yourself and your well-being and your healing. Yeah, you need to meditate an hour every day, Leo. And some of you are like, yeah, there's no way that's happening. Well, that's what you're being told to do. But really, like, sit in the silence, sit in the quiet. There's a need for rest, because so much of your life, there is kind of like this chaos and this anarchy and this energy of like rebellion and again, putting in the fight. And like, good for you. That's awesome energy. But again, you need to honor your inner child. You need to make time for play. You need to make time for nature. You need to make time for meditation. You need to make time for a better diet, cooking healthier meals. Are you even drinking water? Like, are you drinking coffee all day and no water? Because again, your body is telling you, we can't keep doing this. Yeah, some of you are partying too hard. I don't think that's most of you. And for some of you, that's your child, because you've let some sort of relationship with the child be put on the back burner because you're so busy and invested in work and money and this and that. Your child may be hanging out with people who are not good for them. And so, again, that's kind of a loaded message. I don't do fear-based readings. That's not what it's about. It's about awareness, though. What am I focusing on? And am I okay with other parts of my life being out of the spotlight? Because what could be going on in the shadows that I don't know about? All right. Final messages for Leo about either love or career. Anything else that Leo might need to hear that wasn't in this reading? Yeah, some of you are grieving from the loss of something, and the universe is saying, take heart. Tomorrow's a new day. It's always darkest before dawn. I'm hearing that about maybe losing a significant person in your life. I'm not predicting that. It's coming up in the past. Again, this is not about fear or inciting fear in any way. Yeah, rest. You need to rest. Work. You have my workaholic card. Work. There's a time and a place for that. Don't get me wrong. Again, it's about balance. Sometimes, like Capricorn season, yeah, we're being asked to step up and do the work. We're not in Capricorn season anymore. We're in Aquarius season, which is about linking and connections and community and friendship. And it's opposed by Leo energy. And I think that's interesting because Leo is the child. Leo is the heart. So where are we rejecting those elements in our life where, again, Aquarius, Leo, it's that polarity, it's that opposite. So if it's a seesaw, like how can we both enjoy this ride? How can I not neglect or abandon my inner child? How can I do both? Is there a happy medium? You guys are working on a romantic connection. For some of you, you're fixing it and repairing it with a King of Cups. Others of you, it's like you're manifesting it and it hasn't quite shown up in your life yet, but it's literally in the pipeline. There's a King of Cups coming to you. It could be a Scorpio, Cancer, Pisces. It certainly doesn't have to be, though. It's someone who's very emotionally intelligent. It's someone who has a very deep soul. It's probably someone who's quite spiritual. It's someone who's I'm hearing body conscious, but I don't mean that in a self-critical way. It's they're very aware that their body is their temple. It's like a spiritual thing. So this person may even work as a healer or act as a, metaphorically, serve you in some healing capacity in your own journey, in your own life. It could also be an investor, someone who wants to invest in your life, in your company, invest in a relationship with you. It could also be a Capricorn as well. Or again, someone who really helps elevate your business life or your money. It's like Capricorn energy is that working energy. So it could be someone you meet at work, someone who's financially savvy. I feel like I've given you this message before, Leo. I think this is a positive indication of Capricorn energy and Saturn energy. Someone who's very responsible. Yeah, okay, that's what the message is. Okay, Leo, this is a long one. The messages have been kind of deep and heavy. I'm into it, though. Thank you so much for joining me today. Please show some love for the channel, for me, and hit that like button. I would greatly, greatly appreciate it. Leave a positive comment, leave an emoji. That helps these readings gain a greater audience on YouTube. It helps my channel grow. If you're not already, I would invite you to subscribe to my channel, hit that notification bell so you get alerted whenever I post readings. And if you want more content, find me on Instagram and Facebook. I'm the Intuitive Teacup, and I will see you soon for more tarot. Bye, Leo.